guys, we had the app Ubersense. It's pretty much like a performance analysis app, really. So we went outside and we constructed a little video of myself and Kelsey kicking the ball. And what you can do is you can put it so you can either look at one image at once, or you can put it so they're like this, or you can overlap the two. So if you get them in the same spot, you can overlap them, so that you can actually have almost like a shadow of the other person kicking, and you can analyse them both. So you can play it through, and you can stop and pause it, you can lock it and move them along as well, so you can get them sort of at exactly the same point. Also, it's quite good because you can add little bits on it, a bit like Sky Sports, they added these little arrows in it on it. It's pretty cool. So if we were going to look at, for instance, where you're looking at the ball, you can draw a line to say that's where they're looking at the ball. It's pretty cool. And also things like angles, obviously when you're kicking the ball, like angle position of your foot or even your back, you can draw in little arrows like this, and it shows you the degrees in which they're standing. So if you notice the difference between the two, it's not actually what it is. As far as the PE goes, it's pretty cool because if you've got a child, for instance, who is not participating, it's a good form of peer assessment, but self-assessment as well. Another thing that's like pretty cool in this is if you go through, you can actually set it so you've got your own team. So each individual child in the class can have their own like little performance folder. So you can track their progress throughout each week. And also you can link it so you can tag each individual person in it. So, for instance, if you tagged, say, if I tagged myself in, you can pick out my own performances each week. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. We did find though that there were some barriers to it. It is a free app, but to save, like as he's just shown you, but to save things onto the app, you do have to pay for it. So obviously, depending on how much you were going to use the app, obviously for a teacher in a school, it might be worth buying, but just like as individuals or us ourselves, you might not want to pay for it. And also, unless you do pay for it, you cannot save any. We've had to just keep that on the screen, but we wouldn't be able to save it until we bought the app. So.
It says there's a way of sharing it, but it says you need to review it. We tried to review it and can't actually find a way of sharing it. There might be a way, it might just be the fact we've just started using it. Linking it to the teaching standards though, it is pretty good because it can help you plan your lesson. For instance, if someone's not partaking, it gives them something to do and you can get them involved in that. Obviously for progress as well, for demonstrating good progress and outcomes of people, you can literally track how well you're doing or how you're performing. Like for instance, if you say delivered this skill in week 1, you could analyse how you're doing it. Come week 8, you could go back and look at the differences between the two videos, like putting them over the top of each other or however, and you can pick out the key things that you've improved on, or maybe something else that you're still struggling with. So it is pretty useful for that.
Good.